Hi, I'm Freak Boy, and welcome to Freak Boy Runs. It's Sunday, and that means I'm out for my long run. Today is the big one. 35 kilometers, 22 miles, with 5-kilometer hot spots. The way it runs is I'm doing 3 kilometers right now, easy, and then a 5-kilometer hot spot. And I'm repeating that 4 times for the first 32 kilometers, and then 3 kilometers easy at the end to cool down. I feel pretty good right now, and it's a brilliant morning for a run. The weather is perfect. It's going to be starting to warm up by the time I finish, but it won't be too warm throughout the run. The other exciting part is today is my first run in these bad boys. Those are my new Nike Alpha Fly Mixed Percent 3s, and I will probably be running in these in Boston, but that may depend a little bit on the weather. So I'll be judging that as I get closer. I may take a couple of pairs of shoes with me so I have the option to run in these if I've got really good conditions. But anyways, I'm not going to go on any longer here during this warm-up phase. I'll check back in with you guys to see how the hot spots are going as I go along, and then at the end of the long run. So I'll see you in a minute. Here now, just ending the 3-kilometer bit of the 3rd repeat. About to have to speed up right now. It's been going good so far. Been doing all my marathon pace bits between 4:37 per kilometer, with my slowest at 4:44, which included a hill climb, so I'm happy with that. Everything seems to be going very well today so far, knock on wood. I'm basically halfway done. So let's see how the back half goes. Check back in with you guys a little bit later. But right now, I gotta concentrate on marathon pace. All 4 hot spots done now. Went really well. I'm on the last 3 kilometers of easy-ish pace. It's not all that easy after a pretty challenging first 32 kilometers, but I kept my pace. All those splits were right where I wanted to be. Slowest one was that 4:44. That was up the steepest uphill. And then everything else, I think between 4:37 and 4:43. Although there might have been one faster one in there. A couple of them I didn't notice. when the announcement came in my ear, because I was just a little bit, I don't want to say out of it, just I suppose concentrating too much on other stuff. Fueling went really good. Really happy with that. Took a gel about every 5 kilometers. Oh no. I think I just ran. I think I screwed up. I think I ran the 5th kilometer of that hotspot at easy pace. That means I'm going to throw in the last kilometer here back up at marathon pace. I was counting wrong. I guess I lost my place. Okay, well, in that case, I better put the camera away so I can have my heart rate come down properly and be ready for that final kilometer. See you in a sec. Okay, I just finished. Just a short little jog. And then I'll walk 2, maybe 3 miles to cool down. That went really well. That was 22 miles in under 2:52. It's at least comparable, if not faster, than the last time I ran this session. So I'll check those times when I pull my phone out and report back. But I'm very happy with the way that went. The new shoes felt great. I don't think I'll run any more in them until race day, just to conserve the foam and not put too many miles on them. Conserve them really for racing only. But they felt really good. They're light. They've got such a great spring. So much energy return. Oh, here, let's stop the watch. 22.23 miles and 2:53:30. Oh, how should I mark that? I would say pretty hard, but not super hard. 7 out of 10. And I felt very strong. Okay, all right, perceived effort was very good. Okay, now I'm in a good mood. I gotta admit, I was a little bit depressed yesterday. I think just the accumulation of such a long, hard winter and a really hard training plan, even though I had taken that deload week, just really wore me down mentally. And a good session like this was exactly what I needed to give me that psychological boost. So let me come back to you guys here in a second after I check my phone, and I'll let you know how this compares to the last time, and maybe even the last 2 times I've done it. So check you in a minute. I've had a chance now to check my phone and look at the data for when I did this session last, and that was beginning of November. for the training cycle I did for Dallas. And I remember being really chuffed about how well that went back then. Yeah, I was really happy. Really nailed my splits and gave me a lot of confidence going into into the end of that last build block and the taper before Dallas. And this time, in almost all ways, I did better. So my total time over 22 miles last time was 2 hours and 56 minutes. And this time was close to 2:51. Hey there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah, it was close to 2:51. So something like maybe 4.5 minutes faster over 22 miles. There's an extra 0.3-ish miles I tack on at the end just to round it up to 22 miles. And today I did make that mistake there on the fourth set of hotspot kilometers, where I just got confused. I had convinced myself that if I ran a certain pattern around these trails, that I would end without having to go uphill for the final kilometer of that hotspot. And I was just stuck in my head if it wasn't true. Just at the base of that hill was the start of the 5th kilometer, but I slowed down and I didn't realize until I heard the announcement that it said kilometer 32 after I'd finished that one. So I made up for it. What I ended up doing is there was supposed to be 3 kilometers there at the end that were just easy pace, and around halfway through the second of those 3 kilometers, I started to speed up, and then I did that 35th kilometer I did it in, I think, 4:33 and a half, something like that. Mile pace was 7:21, so that's basically half marathon pace that I sped up to there for that very last one, and then I maintained that for that extra third of a mile that I tacked on to round up to 22 miles. So in the end, it was like a little over 2 hours and 51 minutes. That's a really good improvement from November, and considering where I was as recently yesterday, psychologically I was just not happy with where I was, and I just had this dread about today, thinking that it wasn't going to go well, and I was worried a little bit about my hamstrings, because on Thursday, during my strength and conditioning, doing my calf raises on an incline board, I just felt this odd pain in my left hamstring, which is a strange place to feel pain when you're doing calf raises, but I guess I was compensating somehow with my hamstrings and overworked them at that point, and I worried that might have been something that was going to impact me today, but it didn't. I could feel it a little bit But what I've been noticing in this training cycle is I'm almost always feeling soreness in my hamstrings, and that kind of comes with the territory because I'm really working them hard. I'm trying to make sure that I keep up with the strength and conditioning to be sure that they can handle it, and so far so good. So this session has really put me in a good mood. I really want to focus on my recovery before I've got a double run tomorrow, both easy runs, and I moved the double runs around a little bit, so I had shorter double runs tomorrow. I've only got 2 5K runs tomorrow, and then 15K threshold Tuesday, 15K threshold Thursday. The other thing I want to call out is I did a pretty decent carb load last night, which I think also came into play today and really helped me. And let's not forget those guys. I love these shoes. They really felt great. They're better, obviously. They're the newer iteration of these shoes. They're not the newest. The Next Percent 4s just came out a couple of weeks ago, but I don't feel any need to try and break the bank buying a brand new pair of those. These were expensive enough. It's $285. Yeah, I'm really happy with them. The other good thing about these versus the Next Percent 2s that I have been wearing, Alpha Fly Next Percent 2s, those I was forced to buy a half size bigger than I would normally wear. They were on sale. I got them for like $175 or something like that. So they were a really good price, and I ended up being stuck buying a size 12 when I would normally wear an 11.5. And it didn't bother me, but I always, in the back of my mind, knew I was wearing shoes that were just slightly too big and just slightly not ideal. So I'm really happy with the way these performed and the way they felt on my feet. Fantastic. Anyways, I'll sign off for now. Try and pick you guys back up on the threshold run, and hopefully I get some good recovery time and feel good for that run as well. Cheerio. Hi. I'm on my threshold run. Before I talk, take a look at the sunrise. Very pretty today. Okay, I only have a minute or less. I'm halfway through my threshold session. It's going well so far. Depending on which side of the loop I'm on, I do have to battle some headwinds here and there. But heart rate and pace are where I'm expecting them to be. So I'm happy with that. Okay, my watch is going to beep at me here in a minute. So I'll pick you guys back up after a few more. I've got 8 of the 10 complete now. These are 10 by 800 meter repeats with 90 seconds in between. And I've been taking 10 to 30 seconds longer break than I'm supposed to. Don't tell anybody. Okay, So I got 2 more to go. I'm gonna try to finish strong. That last one was my slowest one. I seemed to be slowing down, but I was going against a headwind there too. So not gonna beat myself up too much. Okay, away you go again. We'll see after I'm done. Done. I managed to finish strong. The last one was the fastest. This overall session went much better than the last time I ran this. This is called Threshold 1. And I've run it already twice in this training cycle. And the last time was mid-February. And that was a really, really tough session. And I don't remember what the weather was like on that day, but the whole winter was so bad. So it was likely quite cold. And yeah, I just didn't have a really good session that time. And the time before was kind of mid-January. And I had a real banger that time. And it was a bit faster than what I went today. But I'm not disappointed with my performance today. I don't really remember. I looked it up before I came on this run. And my last rep, that time was 3 minutes and 27 seconds. This time was 3:33. So 6 seconds slower, but still pretty good. And compared to the rest of them, the fastest today, pretty sure. So I'm happy with that session. Heart rate played ball. It was actually still a little bit lower than I would be expecting for my perceived effort, but the advice Ben gave me on the weekend was, Ben being my coach, or one of my 2 coaches, Ben and Mary, he said, just don't worry about it. Just go on perceived effort, and don't let not hitting the paces on the splits or the heart rates get me into a downward mental spiral. And I think that was really good advice. So I'm not concerned about it. I'm pretty happy with the session. It was hard. I wasn't quite battling the urge to quit as much as I know the last time I ran this. It was a big battle, and in quite a few of my threshold and tempo sessions, that's been a struggle for me. So today was okay. I just kept telling myself on each interval, it's only about 3.5 to 4 minutes that I have to endure it, and then I get a break. And I just did that every time, and that's what got me through. So I will pick you guys back up probably on the tempo session. I've got a kind of a basic tempo session on Thursday. It shouldn't be too terribly challenging, but a good opportunity to run tempo continuously for, I can't remember, but probably 20 minutes at a stretch. So I'm looking forward to that one being somewhat lighter session, especially since I come off such a big long run on Sunday and this tough threshold session today. Okay, we'll see you Tuesday. I just stopped real quick just before I finished the warm-up part of my tempo run here. I thought I'd stop. There's a little bit of light here from one of these buildings, and I'm shining my headlamp on my face just so I could intro the run real quick, then put my camera away. It's going to be dark for probably another 45 minutes at least. Today's session will be, it's one I've done before. It's going to be 7 by 2 kilometers, where the first kilometer goes high heart rate zone 3 and the second kilometer goes low heart rate zone 3, and then that just repeats 7 times. And I don't really get a break throughout. It's tempo, not threshold, so it's just a little bit lighter than the threshold sessions, but it's still pretty tough. We're gonna see how it goes, and then that'll be, I guess, the last workout of my biggest week of the schedule, and then it starts to taper off from here, although this isn't really going to be the start of the actual taper, as I've said before. So I'll put my headlamp back on, put the camera away, and finish this last bit of my warm-up, and then get started. I'll see you guys in a minute. Just on the last kilometer of the 7th rep. This was really hard today. I feel like I say that every time, but at least I didn't give up. Very close. I came very close to giving up. I actually stopped and then realized I didn't want to give up and started again. Okay, maybe this wasn't such a good idea, filming before I'm done. Put you guys away for just a couple more minutes. Yeah, that was really hard. The tempo sessions aren't supposed to be quite so hard, but oh my gosh, that really took everything I had mentally. Physically, you know, I didn't even get out of zone 3. So as far as my heart is concerned, I had a lot of space left to go before I should have been feeling that way. But yeah, it was a tough go. I'm just really glad I didn't give up. That is just so important to build that mental strength of not ever giving up. I think I'm about ready to stop my cool down jog and switch to my walk. Just a minute or so left, not even. But yeah, I'm still not ready to talk to the camera. Let me come back again. Sorry. I guess that's the cumulative effect of this being the heaviest week of the schedule. It just all adds up. 22-mile long run, double run Monday, 12 miles worth of running on the Tuesday threshold. What did I do yesterday? 8 miles, I think. Another 11 miles today. I think this week's gonna cap out at probably something like 75 miles of running. What is that in kilometers? Like 125 kilometers or so. So yeah, it takes a little bit out of you, I suppose. I don't know if I've been quite that out of it for so long after I finished the session. It's all done. Toughest week is in the books. I appear to have survived. The hamstrings are hanging in there. I just keep doing my routine of I put ice packs on both of them. I try and do it 4 times a day, and then I also make sure I do the foam rolling every single day. And while I'm not really doing a good stretching routine yet, I know I'm a bad boy. I need to work that into my overall program, but I'm getting some stretching in during my warm-ups, and I get a fairly good stretch doing my mobility work with the deep squats, and I do that every day too. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to get those pieces in just bit by bit as I go along, and as I have been doing it. But let's call it a week for this video. I'll pick you guys back up on Sunday. Another tough long run, cutting back by a mile, so it'll be a 21-mile long run. The hot spots will be less as well. I had 20 kilometers of hot spots last week. I think I'll have maybe, I don't know if there's 18 or what there is. I have to look, but it's definitely less. So it's kind of a little bit downhill for the next few weeks, and then I'm really looking forward to that taper, although that comes with its own challenges. So as always, if you've been enjoying the content and you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you feel like saying something to me, drop a comment down below as well, or share with your friends if you know somebody that is into running. And until next time on Freak Boy Runs, Freak Boy out.